James McAvoy, Bill Hader. I'm hearing really good things about Barry, by the way. I'm gonna have to go back and pick that up because I dropped it like it was hot after the first episode. But apparently I'm missing stuff. But anyway, James McAvoy, Bill Hader, Jessica Chastain, and now James Ransone. Who? I have literally never seen anything that this man has been in, and I watch a lot of stuff. To be fair, he's in some things that are relatively well known, but they're kind of fringy, right? And I have not seen them. I did, though, actually see Inside Man back in 2006, and James Ransone did not make an impression. And oddly, his Twitter account, if that is his Twitter account, somebody told me that he confirmed the news. I don't know how they could tell, though, because his Twitter account is private. What kind of actor has a private Twitter account? And why is it still private? As soon as he found out he was cast in this role, you'd think at least his publicist would be like, time to make your Twitter account public so you can tweet up a storm about this news and get people to follow you. And he has an incredible role. He's playing Eddie in It Chapter 2. And I think because it's not just that I'm not familiar with his work, but I've never heard anyone else ever talk about him like, oh, that James Ransone boy. I mean, it's not like I'm aware he's a fan favorite or has fans. Like, I'm not a fan or I'm not familiar with him, but there's some justification for hiring him, right? It's crazy. In fact, I didn't believe this story when I first heard it today. I was like, I'm waiting for a major trade to confirm because that seems ridiculous to me, right? I guess I'm worried that he's going to ruin a movie that I'm really excited about. Like, he will join forces with Jessica Chastain. Like, we're going to have two sides to It Chapter 2. The actors that scare us, not in a good way, and the actors that excite us. But in reality, to be fair, this is kind of what a lot of us originally talked about with It Chapter 2, right? Like, maybe they shouldn't cast name talent. They should, like what they did with the kids. Although some of the kids, particularly Jaden Lieberher and, of course, Finn Wolfhard, had previous work. But for the most part, it was new discoveries. Although Jack Dylan Grazer is Brian Grazer's relative. We'll talk more about Jack Dylan Grazer in just a moment. But I wanted to point that out. But yeah, give a big break to an adult actor. And that is indeed what they're doing for James Ransone, who has worked, he's a working actor, but again, he's not a working actor in the way like J.K. Simmons or Allison Janney are, right? I mean, just no one has heard of this man really, and no one talks about this man. So much so that he can have a private Twitter account, and nobody really knew that until today. And speaking of big breaks, yes, Jack Dylan Grazer, he was one of the kids who made the strongest impression in It Chapter 1. And that little guy has set the bar awfully high for James Ransone. Jack Dylan Grazer is quite the character. He, of course, is the kid in that story that Billy Skarsgård shared on Jimmy Kimmel. I'll put a link to it down below about how Jack Dylan Grazer was very much like his famous relative producer Brian Grazer in his commentary on Skarsgård's work. It was hilarious. I don't want to give it away. But I can't see the resemblance between James Ransone and Jack Dylan Grazer, right? I mean, he actually they look more alike than some of the other casting that we've seen. So here's hoping that James Ransone is the type of actor who does deserve this big break. This is it, right? Yes, he finally will break through. He'll have a reason to make his Twitter account public. Instead, what I'm worried of this being another, I'm going to cast some of my friends, damn it, and there's nothing you can do about it because I have leverage from directing the first movie coming from director Andy Muschietti. Although, to be fair, again, Muschietti and Ransone are not credited of ever working together before, but that doesn't mean they don't know each other because Hollywood is a very small town. Muschietti might be like, I'm going to give you some work someday, buddy. It's a shame nobody knows who you are. And then he's like, I'm going to give you Eddie. And everyone else, the producer should be like, over my dead body, you're going to give him Eddie. But again, hopefully this is justified casting. And you know what else occurred to me when I was making my notes? Maybe he's a friend of Jessica Chastain's. Oh, another reason I would be upset with her. But again, I hope I'm pleasantly surprised. So how do you think the cast for It Chapter 2 is shaping up? Is anyone here familiar with James Ransone's work? Please make us feel better down below. And of course, as always, I was going to say you can write some more thoughts down below, but I just said that. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.